Welcome to RV102, Preventive Maintenance. This course will cover a bunch of topics which you will see here shortly. Is it the be-all, end-all of preventive maintenance for your RV? Nope, not even close. But it will give you the beginning aspects of what you need to know. I'm Joe Testa, your mentor and guide. I have 15 plus years of RVing experience and completely ruined my first RV, a 1987 Class C Mallard, as I didn't know about all of the preventive maintenance that needed to be done, did not do roof maintenance, and had massive water intrusion due to not doing that roof maintenance. This course will hopefully help you not make the same mistakes I did. I'm a certified RV inspector, a certified thermographer, and am working on becoming a certified RV technician. I also authored the book RVing for Newbies. The first edition is currently out. Second edition is being worked on now. I'm also a mentor to those new to RVing. Disclaimers. Standard disclaimer on all Amazon links. It helps support me continuing to author books and courses. You pay nothing extra by clicking on that affiliate link, but I do make a small commission on your purchase. Everything in here in this course was written by me. There is no artificial intelligence AI in this course. Any mistakes you find are truly mine and mine alone. Class 2, RV102. Section 1 will talk about 120 volts AC. We'll talk about shore cords, hot skin condition, GFCIs, polarity, and checking a campground pedestal. Section 2 will be on 12 volts DC, battery types, wet cell battery maintenance, steps on how to check your wet cell batteries, and maintenance of all types of batteries. Section 3 will talk about propane leak test, furnace maintenance, RV absorption refrigerator maintenance, water heater maintenance. Section 4 will be on the exterior of your RV, roof, lights, sides, and slides. It will also include windows, and if you have a motorhome, we'll talk about windshield wipers. Section 5, wheels and tires. We'll talk about tire pressure, tire tread, DOT codes, visible damage, and torquing of lug nuts. Section 6 will be on fluids. We'll talk about motorhome fluids, generator fluids. Section 7, if you have a motorhome, we'll talk about motorhome hoses and drive belts on your engine. Section 8 will be winterizing and storage. We'll do an introduction on winterization, the prep work you need to do before winterizing, the winterization steps, and then if you're storing your RV, what you need to know about that. Section 9 will be safety devices. We'll talk about emergency exit windows, detectors, fire extinguishers, fire blankets. Section 10 will be on dewinterizing, important come next spring. Section 11, sanitation of your water system. We'll talk about the prep work you need to do before you sanitize, and then we'll talk about the sanitation process. Section 12, wastewater tanks. We'll talk about tank chemicals, drain valve lubricants, toilet seal lubricants. Section 13, we'll talk about air conditioners. We'll talk about the stuff you need to do outside and what needs to be done on inside to keep your air conditioner in tip-top shape. Section 14, refrigerators. We'll talk about leveling them, doors, the drip pan, the drip plug tube, and how long it takes to cool them. Section 15 will be on recall info, where you can find links to see if your RV has had a recall done to it. Section 16 will be generators. We'll talk about generator maintenance. Lessons 1.1 to 1.4. Lesson 1.1, 120 volts AC. Let's talk about shore cord. Look at the prongs on the shore cord, the top picture. There are 30 amp RV cords have 3 prongs, and 50 amp RV cords have 4. We're looking at a 30 amp cord at the top there. Do they appear like the picture on the top, nice and shiny, or the lower right, dull and pitted? What causes this? Multiple things, but the most common is when you plug your shore cord into a campground receptacle, or even at home, and you do not turn off the breaker first. Have you ever seen that small spark when plugging something in? That is the arcing and burning off of some of the copper on the prongs. How do you keep your short cord from ending up like the picture in the lower right? You can look at something like this, Deoxit D5. Just a small squirt will help keep your prongs from ending up like that lower picture. More short cord maintenance can be found here you can find it here at https://www.rvelectricity-shore-power-maintenance, that link. It will also be in the particular text lesson underneath the video lesson. Lesson 1.2, Hot Skin Condition. What exactly is this title, Hot Skin Condition? Simply put, it's where the RV metal parts become electrified and risk you, your family, or anyone else touching a metal part of your RV and getting shocked. For some people, it could kill them. So how do we go about checking this? First thing when you do is plug your RV into a campground or a household receptacle. If you're using a surge protector or an electrical management system or a Hughes autoformer, wait until the analysis has been done and is passing electricity to the RV. Now turn on your non-contact voltage tester. It should beep and a light turn on. You can go to the store at store.rvingfornewbies.com to be able to find the one that you want that will go all the way down to 12 volts. That's the one that's on the store, 12 volts of AC. So you go to a known working electrical socket, like the one outside of your RV, assuming your GFCI has not been popped. Hold the non-contact voltage tester in one hand like a screwdriver, then place the plastic end that has what looks like a probe on the end of it into the smaller straight slot on the right, assuming the ground is at the bottom of the outlet. If it's sideways or it's upside down, when you're looking for the two slots, look for the smaller of the two. It should beep. Now you know the NCVT is working correctly. If it did not beep, try the other slot. If it still did not beep, could be the GFCI is tripped, or you have a few other options. Try it in a known working outlet, either at home or at the campground. Now, once you know it's working, go around your RV, touch metal pieces of the RV like the door handles, the bumper, and the NCVT should not beep. If it does, make sure you're not slamming the end of it into the metal pieces. It's just lightly touching it. Since if you slam it into the metal, it may cause it to beep erroneously. No beeping, excellent, you're good at this point. If you find beeping, you're going to want to contact an RV technician who specializes in searching out electrical issues. Potentially trying to find it is beyond the scope of this course. Lesson 1.3, 120 volts AC, we're going to talk about GFCIs, ground fault circuit interrupters. Those are the electrical sockets you see that have a reset button on them, usually near water sources, bathroom, kitchen, outside electrical receptacles. You want to test them on a regular basis so you can use the test button on them, or you can use a device I'll describe later in polarity information. Here are pictures of both a GFCI outlet and a regular outlet. Notice the second one does not have a test reset button on it. That means it's daisy chained to like the one in the first picture. Now, to throw a slight wrinkle into this, there's also GFCI circuit breakers that you might find in your converter box with the rest of the circuit breakers and fuses. If you have outlets that are not working and you're hooked up to shore power or using a generator, check the GFCI outlets and also check to see if you have a GFCI breaker. So, what is a GFCI test? It is a test done on a GFCI outlet. You know, the kind with the small light on it and a test reset button, as shown in the previous slide. In an RV, quite a few 120 volt electrical outlets are either GFCI receptacle or wired to one in the bathroom. I've seen in multiple and in larger RVs. There's also the possibility of a GFCI breaker in the converter box. I have found a GFCI outlet in one RV I inspected. It was under the kitchen sink behind the drain plumbing. So they could literally be anywhere. A GFCI outlet helps in preventing shocks and electrocutions, as it has a built-in sensor that monitors inflow and outflow of the electricity from an appliance. If a live wire inside the appliance meets the metallic surface of the appliance, you will get a shock when you touch it. A GFCI is there to protect you from that. However, if you plug the appliance, like your hairdryer, into a GFCI outlet, then it will notice if there's any change in the electrical flow, which may occur due to a loose wire, and will instantly shut down the power. I use the tool there on the left to simulate a loose wire and force the GFCI outlet to trip. Important. If you force it to trip, you need to have electricity going to the plug to be able to reset it. So if you go up to it and you got no electricity and you push the button to reset it and it doesn't happen, you're not getting electricity to that outlet. The electricity has to be coming into the outlet. So if you're not connected to shore power, you don't have a generator running, your inverter's tripped, any of those kind of things, you need to make sure that you've got electricity coming to the plug before it'll allow you to reset it. Lesson 1.4, still talking 120 volts AC here. Polarity and checking a campground pedestal. As stated previously, there's a tool you can use to check the polarity at your outlets in your RV, and it should be done anytime you're plugged into shoreline power source, meaning campground at your house. It is extremely easy to use. You just plug it into the receptacle, read the color diodes at the top, and the explanations are in the middle. It tells you if anything's miswired. So now the question begs to be asked, how do I check the pedestal at the campground? In the lesson notes for 1.4 is a link to a PDF that you can print off and use when you want to check a campground pedestal.